Hello, it's Maria here, and today I'm doing my very first Instagram live video. I'm not sure, it's saying live, so I presume it's going out live. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about my work, and another thing I want to do is give an artist tip at the very end, because I know so many of the people on Instagram that I'm following and that are following me are artists. And it's something I love to do. I love looking at other artists and hearing their advice and their tips. I just think that's fantastic. I've done a lot of YouTube art demonstration videos, and I love watching other artists' demos as well and tutorials, but sometimes just the live chat, when you hear somebody chatting about their work, it can be really encouraging and really uplifting, and it can help somebody. Maybe somebody could get a tip out of this, or a beginner might learn something that would just get them going and motivate them. Oh, somebody has joined. Hi, thank you. So I'm not alone. It's great to see you. So Linda, it's Linda. Hi, Linda. So yeah, I'm just getting started. I've been painting all my life, which is a long time. I went to art college in the 1980s. So on and off, I have been exhibiting my work in galleries. And it's kind of the same thing, I think, with a lot of artists. You do an exhibition and then you just, it tapers off. You go flat after an exhibition, you take a break, and that break gets longer and longer until you find, oh my goodness, it's so long since I worked and I need to get back to my painting again. And each time you take a break, you've got to go back again. You've got to rehone your skills after taking those breaks. So the last time I did a big exhibition was in 2018. And the same thing happened to me again after the exhibition. I just said, I'm going to take a short break, get involved in doing some other things and other work. And the next thing, it was 12 months down the road and I had done very, very little. So when the lockdown started last March, I decided that this was a fantastic opportunity just to get back into my work. So I went out and bought a lot of canvases, but I needed to set myself a goal. And the goal was that I would make a YouTube video every single week, and that was going to get me painting every week. So I suppose that's just something that motivated me, because I felt, what is going to keep me going for months and months and months of painting? I need to set some sort of goal. And very soon afterwards, a friend of mine invited me to share those YouTube videos on her site, her Facebook site, for artists. And so that also was an additional goal. Okay, now every Monday I've got to get a video ready. So that really kept me going. But I will tell you, the videos that I made in the beginning were not good, but it was a way to motivate me. And it's like a personal diary as well, of what was going on and how my work began to develop over the last 8 or 9 months. So really, almost every week I put up a video on YouTube, and it was only at the very, very end of 2020, the last few months of 2020, that I really started getting into Instagram. And I am finding Instagram is such an encouraging platform. On the other platforms like Facebook and places like that, I feel I'm putting up videos, but most of my friends aren't interested in art, and I feel like I'm bombarding them with my work. But here on Instagram, I just know everybody is into art, and everybody's following each other, and just the encouragement, it is so encouraging. And so it just is a very, very good, encouraging, uplifting platform. And the one thing I love about Instagram, it has really helped me in following other artists and looking at their works. So for all artists out there, I really want to thank you, all the ones I'm following, because you have really inspired me. So that is something I just find it great. So that's why I'm doing my Instagram live video today. I just want to explore it more and get more into it, because it has been a big help to me. Um, so yeah, one thing I've never done is I've never sold my work online. I've sold in galleries, as I said. I've sold when people approach me and ask me, could they buy the work? So that's something, another goal for 2021 will be just to see how that goes, because obviously with lockdowns and everything, this is the gallery really for my work. So I'm just going to get onto my own work right now. So at the moment, all along, I have been really working on wildflowers. Um, and that's been going on for years and years, and it just have been very, very inspired by the landscape in Ireland and the abundance of flowers, especially that I see in the summertime. But another reason why I love colour and I love texture and line and shape and design. And in Ireland, predominantly, the landscape is green and the sky is grey. So if I stick to what I'm looking at physically when I go out there, all my paintings would be blue and green or grey and green. And the flowers are every colour under the sun. So they're a fantastic way. I think what I'm trying to say, it's not so much the flowers I'm painting, it's the colour and it's the shapes and the lines and the texture, the beautiful texture that's in them. In a way, sometimes the flowers to me are like, they're like people with faces, and they can be blue or they can be pink or yellow or any colour. And I just, it is a lovely, they're a lovely subject matter to paint. But right now, it's winter. And I seem to be really just affected at the moment by winter, and that's not in a bad way, because each season has a mood of its own. And I just felt over the last few weeks, it's not the season to be painting beautiful, bright coloured flowers. Now, I probably will be painting them again next week because I'll want to uplift myself with the colours. But right now it's like I'm in this kind of nostalgic winter time. And this is one of the first ones that I painted. So I don't know if you can see that. My studio now is getting quite dark. The light is going a bit. But that one, I call it Winter in the Garden. And it's just really the colours and the light is different. And the one behind me that I've got here, I'm calling that one, I'm just going to try and put a bit of light over this direction. That one is, I'm calling it The Place Where I Once Lived. And there really is a story in that for me, in that I suppose during the winter time, I'm looking back at places in the past. And so there kind of is a story in this one, The Place Where I Once Lived, but it might be also something that somebody could relate to, looking through the trees and looking back into the distance. I know it's quite hard to see that one, but I will talk about that painting again. And I've done another one here. This one, excuse me now, I don't think the light is that good at the moment. This one is very near where I live. There is a pond, and it's called the Atlantic Pond because I live in the city of Cork. I live very near a marina, and on the marina there's the pond, and there's an island in the middle of that pond, and there's herons have taken over the island. It's just an amazing spot, and I walk there, you know, most days, a lot of days I walk if I'm not too lazy. So this is, I suppose you can see just the water and the reflections on the water, and that's the island where the herons live, and it's got a real winter feel to it. So that's just really where I am working at the moment. And I'll come back and talk a bit more about my own work some other time. I'm going to give you a tip today, because I said in the beginning I would give an artist tip, and this is my tip. I've started using stencils. So I just felt, as I was saying, I'm interested in colour, I'm interested in texture. And there's a lot of ways that artists get texture on their painting. Some people use drips, they allow the paint to drip, and that's really good because you get unusual lines and um, it's kind of organic. It's not something you've composed yourself, it's just happened during the course of your creativity. Um, some artists use palette knives or sponges or plastic or all sorts of things to make imprints, potatoes, you name it. But I just really over the last few months, I really was thinking about texture. So when the lockdown ended at Christmas, I went out looking for stencils and I couldn't find them anywhere. But eventually I found them in a shop called Bookstation. I found some beautiful stencils. And what I do is I just put them, let's say this is my painting that I'm working on. I just put the stencil over it. But I don't follow the stencils exactly. I might go the opposite way with my paint. So I would use the paintbrush to go in a different direction. And also if you've got stencils, say this one for example is dolphins or something. But what I do is I put another stencil, put two stencils together, and when I put them together I don't get dolphin shapes anymore. I get something that looks more like moss or much more organic. So I'm finding using the stencils is really helping me to build up this type of texture. You can actually feel it when you rub over it. It's very textured. So it is really helping. And that would be something, when I look at artists' works, it is the detail. That's the difference between a master, somebody who's really knows what they're doing, who's put a lot of time and work into their art. When you look at sometimes when you look in the distance, oh, that's a beautiful painting, but I always zone in and I want to see the detail. And when you look at something close up and look at the detail of the brush marks or whatever way, the palette knife or whatever way they've built up the texture, that is the difference between something that's really good and something that is, you can tell how much time the artist and how professional they are by the detail in the work. So any way you can get texture and detail into the paintings is just brilliant. So that's my latest. It's my latest craze is stencils. Now I don't want to overuse them either, because I don't want to, when you look at the painting, that all you're seeing is the same repeated patterns over and over again. So I'm careful about that I'm varying it and that I'm painting over the stencil marks and mixing them up, that they're really there as a base for texture rather than that they are the final marks on the piece. So that's it for me. Thank you all for everybody who's joined me there, and I'm hoping to do something like that once a week. So maybe I'll pick a day, maybe I'll do it next Friday again, or maybe earlier in the week. So thank you so much for joining me today, and God bless and bye-bye. Talk to you soon.